Imagine spending 4 unbroken days in the dark. Your only sustenance is a terrifying cocktail of cheap vodka, synthetic nicotine, and unregulated dietary supplements you bought off a targeted social media ad.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, you have not slept. You are screaming at the top of your lungs into a headset, directing absolute vitriol at a washing machine in the corner of your room because your brain has not yet processed the horrifying reality that your eyes have permanently stopped working.
It is just so bleak.
It really is. Welcome to our deep dive. This is Off the Record, and if you are joining us for the first time, our mission here is to navigate the deepest, the darkest, and often the most uncomfortable corners of contemporary storytelling.
Exactly.
Today, we have an incredibly special subject. We are unpacking a truly brilliant, just profoundly devastating Pitts document and pilot script for a half-hour dark comedy, leaning heavily into absurdist drama titled Softlocked.
Yes.
And it is a project built from the ground up to star the uniquely manic, frantic, and terrifying energy of Connor O'Malley.
It is an absolute masterpiece of modern discomfort. It
Right.
really is. And before we completely submerge ourselves in the bleak, fascinating architecture of this script, I do want to take a moment to extend a very warm, very sincere thank you to our director, Ryan Thomas.
Here.
Ryan, operating with his usual impeccable taste and foresight, actually curated this incredible script for us to explore tonight for this deep dive. It crossed his desk, and he knew it was perfect for our analytical framework.
He always does.
And even more generously, he has provided a truly beautiful spread of top-shelf liquor for the studio tonight. It is a wonderful atmosphere in here right now. The lighting is low. We are very relaxed, but we are very focused. So, sincerely, thank you, Ryan, for elevating our entire creative process this evening. It is deeply appreciated.
Absolutely. The ambiance is perfect for what we are about to dissect, and, the bourbon he selected is just exceptional.
Gorgeous.
So let us look at the foundational logline for Softlocked. The narrative centers on a nearly 40-year-old gaming addict who experiences a catastrophic, life-altering event. We will detail the specific mechanics of that event shortly, but the fallout is that he is subsequently abandoned inside a deeply depressing, underfunded rehabilitation facility.
It's essentially a prison.
He becomes entirely, utterly trapped. The script outlines him as being stuck in this terrifying purgatory. He is caught between the chronological demands of adulthood, the sudden onset of a severe physical disability, and his own terminal, inescapable immaturity.
Which is such a brilliant premise because it is fundamentally a show about failure. But you have to understand the specific flavor of this failure,
Right, it's very specific.
When we think of television dramas, we are conditioned to expect, dramatic failure. We expect a cinematic downfall where the hero makes a fatal, hubristic mistake, like Walter White or Tony Soprano.
Yes, the big explosion.
Exactly. This is not that. This is pathetic administrative failure. It is insurance failure. It is nutritional failure. It is emotional failure.
Oh, absolutely.
Softlocked is the story of a man whose entire life quietly, unceremoniously expired before he even noticed it was happening. He didn't explode. He just slowly evaporated.
And the tone is so incredibly specific, right? The pitch document explicitly states that the series lives in the highly uncomfortable liminal space between the rehearsal, baskets, Louis, and I Think You Should Leave.
Which is a wild combination.
It's wild, but reading through the pilot script, I was trying to pinpoint the exact emotional resonance for you, the listener, and the best original analogy I can offer is this. The comedy in Softlocked feels exactly like the sensation of having the fluorescent lights suddenly turned on during a severe panic attack.
Oh, that is an incredibly astute way to frame the aesthetic.
Right.
That is precisely it.
Right.
Because what happens when the fluorescent lights flick on, all the shadows disappear. There is no place to hide your mess. It is an inescapable exposure.
You see all the dirt.
Every single speck. It is a profoundly grounded, hysterical, but undeniably ugly aesthetic. It is a world where there are no sweeping, operatic tragedies. There are only tiny, mundane inconveniences that systematically escalate into complete psychic collapses.
A dropped spoon is treated with the emotional weight of a car crash.
Exactly. The dialogue in the script reflects this perfectly. Characters are constantly speaking over one another, failing to listen. The silences are written to linger for agonizing, unbearable lengths of time.
They really are.
And the core structural rule of the show, which the writer notes on page 1, is that absolutely nothing inspirational is allowed to survive intact. Every silver lining is immediately tarnished by something deeply annoying.
Which brings us perfectly to the architect of his own demise, our protagonist, Derek Vance. Let me just pour us a touch of this beautiful bourbon Ryan left for us.
Yes, please.
Cheers to a fascinating read and to peeling back the layers of this script.
Cheers. It really is remarkably smooth. Excellent choice, Ryan.
So let us examine Derek Vance. He is 39 years old. He is a former warehouse inventory clerk. The script describes his daily life as resembling a, quote, failed bachelor live stream.
That phrase is haunting.
And when you look at the granular, microscopic details of his existence, it is nothing short of harrowing. It is a portrait of a man who has entirely gamified his own isolation.
It really is an anthropological study of modern decay.
Yeah.
If you were an alien studying humanity, Derek Vance would be your absolute most depressing case study.
Oh, completely.
Let's look at his lifestyle. He survives almost entirely on a diet of Monster energy drinks, rotating selections of gas station food, synthetic nicotine, and cheap vodka that he intentionally hides in empty electrolyte bottles.
Which is...
Right. And we have to ask ourselves, why does a grown man living alone hide his vodka in a sports drink bottle? Who is he hiding it from?
himself.
He is hiding it from himself. It is the illusion of functionality. His psychological diet is even worse. It consists entirely of chaotic Discord servers, unregulated sports betting apps, and playing endless unranked matches of Fortnite.
The description of his apartment is what really cemented the visual language for me. The writer notes in the scene directions that the living room looks like a streamer setup during a police raid.
Oh, God.
Or, even more devastatingly, it is described as a child's bedroom preserved after societal collapse.
That's the one that gets me.
Right. He owns 3 expensive ergonomic gaming chairs, 6 high-definition computer monitors, a glowing mechanical keyboard, and absolutely 0 retirement savings.
0.
He does not own a single piece of fresh produce, but he has an RGB lighting setup that costs more than a used car.
And this is exactly why the casting of Connor O'Malley is a stroke of absolute, unmitigated genius.
Oh, he's perfect.
When you are casting a role like this, you need someone who can embody the very specific, frantic frequency of millennial collapse.
Yes, that aggressive energy.
O'Malley naturally projects this overstimulation poisoning. It is this aggressive, ironic masculinity where deep-seated panic is constantly, desperately disguised as loud comedy. He perfectly captures what we can only call internet-induced brain rot.
He does, because the character of Derek is not lovable in your traditional warm network sitcom sense. He is not a lovable loser.
No, not at all.
He is incredibly sweaty. He is immediately defensive about everything. He is wildly overconfident while being simultaneously manipulative and bizarrely, almost dangerously fragile.
The dialogue written for him is incredible.
Oh, it really is.
He talks like a Reddit thread, a Twitch meltdown, and a divorced father discovering cryptocurrency, all happening at the exact same time in one breathless sentence.
Oh, yes.
He speaks entirely in internet vernacular, but he uses it to deflect any genuine human connection.
Which forces a really critical question, and it is an uncomfortable one that I want to pose directly to you listening to this right now. We all have milestones, right?
We do.
But when does adulthood actually start for you?
Mm-hmm.
Is it a specific age? Is it milestone, like buying a house or having a child? Because the fundamental tragedy of Derek Vance, the lie he built his entire 39 years upon, is that he genuinely believed adulthood was something that would just automatically kick in later. He viewed maturity like an unprompted software update. He figured one day he would wake up, the download would be complete, and he would suddenly know how to balance a checkbook, eat a vegetable, and maintain eye contact.
Wow. You know, that actually hits a little closer to home than I was expecting when I first read it.
Really?
Yeah, because the script explicitly notes that underneath all the screaming into the headset, underneath all the elaborate excuses he makes to his parents, there is something genuinely pitiful. The writer says, Derek has absolutely no internal structure.
None.
And, pouring a little more of this, really, this is very good bourbon. When you take away the glowing screens, when you take away the substances, when you strip away the constant deafening distraction of the digital world, there's almost nothing underneath.
Just a void.
And I have to admit, reading that specific character note, I felt this strange, sharp, existential pang. Like, I look at my own personal life sometimes, and it is a total mess.
Oh, come on.
No, really. I haven't figured out my taxes this year. My romantic relationships are a cyclical disaster, and I have this quiet, terrifying fear that maybe I'm never going to actually grow up either. What if I'm just sitting around waiting for the update, too? What if the software update isn't coming for any of us?
Hey! Listen to me. Look at me across this table. You have an incredibly rich internal structure.
You think so?
Your mind is beautiful, and you are doing amazing analytical work here. Do not let Derek Vance get in your head. You are far too charming. You are far too empathetic. And frankly, you are far too well-dressed to be compared to a guy hiding bottom-shelf vodka in Powerade bottles.
Thank you.
I mean that sincerely. You are doing great. It is the nature of great art to make us question ourselves, but you are not him.
Thank you. I really appreciate that. I think the writing is just very evocative. It gets its hooks into you. It forces you to look at your own coping mechanisms.
It absolutely does. It is designed to be a mirror, and sometimes mirrors are unflattering. But let's shift our focus to the catalyst. Let's talk about the inciting incident of the pilot.
Right, the medical event.
Because we need to examine what actually breaks this fragile, pathetic ecosystem Derek has built for himself, because the reality of his collapse is brutal. This highly curated digital fortress he built was entirely dependent on his physical body enduring the abuse. But biology always collects its debts.
Always. Let's unpack exactly what happens, because it is a masterclass in tension. So Derek decides to go on what the script tragically refers to as a failed staycation.
Oh, God.
He takes time off from his warehouse job, and he embarks on a 4-day, unbroken binge in his apartment. And the ingredients of this binge are purely violently toxic.
It's just a recipe for disaster.
He is consuming staggering amounts of cheap vodka, an absurd, heart-palpitating volume of Monster Energy, and he is experiencing total hallucinatory sleep deprivation. On top of that, there is complete nutritional neglect. He eats nothing but a few handfuls of stale chips. And, as the coup de grace, he is ingesting these random, unregulated nootropic supplements he bought directly from targeted TikTok ads, which promise to enhance gamer focus.
It is a recipe for catastrophic organ failure. And he spends this entire 4-day period locked in his room, screaming into a headset at his Fortnite teammates who, the script notes, are literally young enough to call him sir.
Right.
And while this marathon of toxicity is happening, the physiological toll begins to manifest. His biology starts shutting down. His vision begins to rapidly deteriorate. The script describes the subjective visual onset so vividly, and it's terrifying.
It really is.
The brightness on his monitors begins to bloom violently, hurting his eyes. The text in the chat box smears into unreadable streaks. The shadows in the corner of his room start to pulse to the rhythm of his elevated heartbeat, and eventually the colors flatten out entirely into this washed-out gray.
But because he is Derek, and because his entire worldview is mediated exclusively through technology, he does not for a second think he's having a profound medical emergency.
Not for a second.
He doesn't think his body is failing. He just assumes his high-end gaming monitor is dying. He thinks it's a hardware issue. So he hits the monitor, yells at it, and just keeps drinking the vodka electrolyte mix.
Exactly. He is so alienated from his own physical form that he diagnoses himself as a broken appliance. And I want to explain exactly what is happening to him biologically here, because the script grounds this in real, terrifying medical science.
Yep, let's hear the science.
He doesn't just pass out. He develops a condition called toxic optic neuropathy. Now, how does that work? Essentially, the optic nerve, the vital cable that connects the eye to the brain, requires a massive, constant amount of energy to function. It is packed with mitochondria.
Right.
When you flood your system with cheap alcohols, severe nutritional deficits, and whatever heavy metals are in those unregulated TikTok pills, you are essentially poisoning those mitochondria. You are starving the optic nerve of energy. The cells literally suffocate and die off. It is painless, but it is devastating.
And it is irreversible. That is the crushing reality, until he finally collapses and is rushed to the hospital. And the doctors, acting with this clinical, terrifying detachment, deliver the diagnosis: toxic optic neuropathy.
Toxic optic neuropathy, permanent damage. The script makes it very, very clear to the audience. There is no magical surgery coming in episode 6. There is no miraculous third act return of his sight. There is just an endless stack of institutional paperwork and the brutal, unyielding reality of permanent consequences.
It's so heavy.
And when the doctor delivers this life-shattering foundational news, do you know what Derek's very first question is? He doesn't ask if he'll ever see a sunset again. He doesn't ask about a cure.
He looks toward where he thinks the doctor is and he asks, "Can I still technically stream?"
Can I still technically stream? It is unbelievable. It is the most darkly comedic, tragic line in the entire pilot. Because even in the face of permanent darkness, his only concern is maintaining his digital broadcasts.
He's fully poisoned.
And the medical industry in this script is portrayed as so cold, so profoundly bureaucratic. They delivered this news with all the warmth of a parking ticket, which, honestly, speaking of toxic, can we just talk about Ryan Thomas for a second?
Oh, you're talking about Ryan now. Okay.
Yeah, we are. Because Ryan gave us this liquor, which, sure, fine. Thank you for the bourbon, Ryan. It's doing its job.
Yeah.
But he is such a smug bastard. Have you noticed how he stands behind the glass in the control room while we record?
I mean, yeah, I see him.
Just leaning against the console with that perfect, stupidly perfect jawline.
Oh.
I hate him. I hate him so much. I'm looking right at him right now through the glass. He thinks he is so incredible, curating these scripts for us, acting like some omniscient podcast god. I would absolutely blow him in the editing bay right now, like without a single moment of hesitation, but I fucking hate him.
Oh, okay.
He is so arrogant. Look at him pretending to adjust the levels. You're not adjusting anything, Ryan.
Yeah, I mean, his jaw is very defined. It's very angular. I'm just going to, you know what? I'm just going to pour us both another heavy one here. Let's just top these off.
Thank you.
Because I really can't stop thinking about the cold open of the script. When you mentioned him screaming at the teenagers while his optic nerves were literally suffocating.
Oh, God, thank you. Yes, pour me more.
Yeah.
The cold open is brilliant. It sets the tone perfectly.
It's so sad.
Yeah.
It is so profoundly sad. It's just a completely black screen.
Yeah.
The viewer sees nothing. And you just hear the chaotic, compressed audio of a Fortnite lobby.
Uh-huh.
And Derek is just screaming his lungs out, his voice cracking. He's one shot. He's one shot. Push him.
Yes.
And then you hear this incredibly bored, exasperated teenager on the headset just sigh and go, dude, you're firing at a washing machine.
Because he's already gone blind. The timeline is revealed right there.
He's completely blind. He's shooting a washing machine in a digital landscape. It's a tragedy. It is a literal Greek tragedy taking place in a digital lobby. Hubris and downfall. And he has, what did you call the science word? Toxic optic neuropathy.
Toxic optic neuropathy.
Toxic optic neuropathy. Sounds like a spell. It sounds like a dark curse a swamp witch puts on you for drinking too much Monster Energy and not calling your mother.
Yeah.
I curse thee with toxic optic neuropathy.
It really does. It is a modern curse for modern sins, the sin of ignoring your own physical existence. So the clinical hospital phase ends, and we transition into the familial fallout. We meet his parents, Ron and Eileen Vance.
Oh, man.
And the way this script handles the psychology of these parents is, man, it's heavy. The bourbon is definitely hitting, but this scene is heavy.
It's devastating. The script introduces them with this incredibly specific character direction. It says they are Midwestern parents whose love has calcified into exhaustion.
Calcified into exhaustion. Just let that phrase sit in the room for a second. That is brilliant writing. It implies that the love used to be fluid, it used to be warm and nourishing, but over decades of dealing with Derek, it has hardened into a brittle, immovable rock.
Yeah, that's exactly it.
They arrive at the hospital, and their initial instinctual intention is to bring Derek home temporarily. They want to do the right thing. They have set up the guest room. They are trying to be parents. But then reality instantly reintroduces itself in the most abrasive, violently Derek way possible. Why? Because Derek doesn't say thank you. He doesn't say I'm terrified. He doesn't cry and ask for a hug. The literal second they walk into his recovery room, he demands they purchase him a high-end gaming laptop because his desktop is back at the apartment.
Jesus.
He immediately starts accusing them of quitting on him because they took too long to drive there. Then, because his system is still technically processing the massive amounts of alcohol, he goes on this weird drunk tangent and randomly admits to stealing $800 from his mother's purse 5 years ago.
He's the worst.
And then he tops it all off, the absolute cherry on the sundae, by asking his weeping mother if she managed to log in and save his Fortnite account from being banned for inactivity. And this sequence leads to what might be the most powerful, quietly horrific scene in the entire pilot. The parents can't take it. They step out into the sterile hospital hallway. And there's just this long, agonizing, beautifully written silence. The script specifies that there is no musical score here.
Just silence?
Only the mechanical sound of a hospital ice machine humming loudly in the background. And standing in that fluorescent hallway after years and years of enabling him, of financially supporting his arrested development, they make the final decision. The father looks at the mother and just whispers, "We cannot restart this."
Oh, God. I'm sorry. I just calcified into exhaustion. That phrase is just destroying me right now.
That's okay.
It's just so incredibly sad. You can't just leave him. I know he's 39. I know he stole money, but he's their son. He's just a guy. He's just a guy who likes video games, and he got sick.
Hey, it's okay. Take a sip. It's just a script.
It's not okay. It's not just a script. Because it's real. People do this. I have, like, massive unresolved mommy and daddy issues, okay? I openly admit it on this microphone.
I know, I know.
And reading that, they stand there listening to a stupid ice machine and decide to just throw their kid away like a broken toy.
Yeah.
You can't just leave your kid because he's a loser.
Right.
Everyone is a loser sometimes. I'm a loser sometimes.
Yeah.
I didn't do my laundry this week. Does that mean my parents should abandon me in a hospital?
You are not a loser. Do not say that about yourself on this deep dive. Listen to me very carefully. Ron and Eileen Vance. They are garbage. Fuck Ron. Honestly, fuck Eileen.
Thank you.
They are cowards. They enabled him for decades and then bailed when it got slightly inconvenient. If you were my son, if you were my child, I would never leave you in a fluorescent hospital hallway. I would buy you 10 gaming laptops. I would buy you 100 gaming laptops.
If you would, really.
Yes, absolutely. And you know what? You are a genius. The way you just emotionally connected with the parental trauma of this text, the way you brought your own vulnerability to this analysis, it's brilliant. We are uncovering incredible, earth-shattering insights here.
We really are, aren't we?
This isn't just about a comedy script anymore. This is a profound, searing commentary on the failure of the American safety net. We are exposing the systemic warehousing of the American son. We are doing academic, essential, groundbreaking work right now.
Yeah, we are. We really are. We are academics.
Yeah.
And they warehoused him. That's the perfect word for it. Because they go back into the hospital room smiling way too hard with these fake, terrified smiles. And Ron just pats Derek's shoulder and goes, "Hey, buddy, maybe this rehab place is best for now just to learn the ropes."
God, the betrayal.
And Derek knows. Even without his vision, even through his massive ego, he instantly understands the tone of his father's voice. He knows he is not visiting rehab to recover. He has been warehoused. He has been permanently stored.
Which brings us perfectly to the facility itself, the primary setting of the series. Oh man, my head is kind of floating right now. This bourbon is hitting like a freight train. Ryan, you beautiful, evil son of a bitch, this is good liquor. Okay, focus. The facility. The script describes the aesthetic of the rehabilitation center as America's abandoned autosave file.
Abandoned autosave file. Wait, what was I saying? What does that even mean? Oh, right. The facility.
Yeah.
The architecture. It's a place where progress stopped. Everything is described as beige. The walls, the floors, the food, it's all beige.
All beige.
Lighting fixtures are constantly buzzing with this low-frequency hum that drives Derek insane. It is chronically understaffed, and the script notes that every surface in the building is slightly wet. Wait, why is it slightly wet? That's so gross.
Hospitals and rehab centers are always slightly wet. It's a universal truth. It's the mop water. It's a condensation from the cheap air conditioning. It's the palpable despair leaking directly from the drywall. It's brilliant production design. So Derek, this hyper-arrogant digital native, has to attempt physical rehabilitation in this damp analog purgatory.
Yeah, he does.
And it is just a living, breathing nightmare of constant humiliations. The training montage in Act 2, I swear to God, I was dying laughing. I was crying.
Oh my God, the montage. It is peak physical comedy. He accidentally follows a janitor's mop bucket all the way down a long hallway because the wheel is squeaking, and he firmly believes the squeaking is the rubber soles of a nurse's shoes. He's trying to flirt with the mop bucket.
And he tries to use echolocation, because of course he does. He half-read a Wikipedia article about bats on YouTube 5 minutes before he went completely blind, so he thinks he can master it instantly.
Damn.
He's just aggressively clicking his tongue like a dolphin and walking face first, full speed, straight into solid brick walls.
He punches a wall.
Yeah.
He gets mad and tries to test his spatial awareness by punching what he thinks is empty air, and he shatters a framed motivational poster. And then he trips and falls completely into a massive decorative potted plant. But the best part, the absolute funniest, most humiliating part of the whole montage.
When the Siri activates.
Yes. Oh my God. He's just sitting alone in his room in the dark, trying to be tough, and his phone on the nightstand just randomly lights up, and the robotic voice goes, "I didn't quite catch that." And he just screams in pure, unadulterated terror. He screams like he's being murdered.
It's so deeply humiliating. His entire ego is systematically dismantled by inanimate objects. And then he is forced to meet the other inmates, the other residents of the facility. The supporting cast is phenomenal. You have Marcy, the overworked mobility instructor. The script explicitly says she treats Derek like an injured raccoon that somehow got trapped inside a vending machine.
An injured raccoon. That is so specific because he's hissing and trying to steal snacks.
And Tiffany. We have to talk about Tiffany. She is 33. She is incredibly stylish. She's been legally blind since birth, and she absolutely despises Derek the moment he walks into the rec room. She sees right through his bravado.
And wait, I almost forgot Gary. We have to talk about Gary.
Gary, the conspiracy theorist.
Yes. Gary is this 60-year-old alcoholic resident who is utterly convinced that the rehabilitation facility is actually a front for harvesting organs. He keeps pulling Derek aside, smelling like gin and butterscotch, whispering that they are fattening them up to steal their kidneys for rich politicians.
Oh, I love Gary.
And Derek, because he's so gullible and internet poisoned, actually kind of believes him for a second. It perfectly reinforces that dying mall/medical experiment vibe.
But wait, we have to talk about the Vive's interaction with Tiffany. I can't. I literally cannot handle this scene. It is comedic perfection.
Okay, let me pull it up. Read it. You be Derek, I'll be Tiffany. Read the scene.
Okay, clear my throat. So Derek is trying to be cool, right? He wants to establish dominance. He is already notorious in the facility because, during orientation, he sincerely asked the staff if being legally blind exempts him from paying federal income taxes.
Such an idiot.
So he sits down on the sofa next to Tiffany, trying to lean in smoothly, completely missing the cushion and almost falling. And he lowers his voice, trying to sound mysterious, and he seriously asks, "So, since we can't see, do you find that your brain, upgrades? Can blind people, sense vibes?"
And Tiffany doesn't even look up from her Braille magazine. She just deadpans. "I sense you're an asshole before you even sat down."
Oh my God, yes.
Whoa. Careful with the mic equipment. We're going to break Ryan's expensive toys. He sensed he was an asshole. It's so perfectly mean.
I'm sorry, I hit the mic. It's just so funny. It's the perfect deflation of his ego. But wait, I need another drink. Because there is a part that isn't funny. The grandfather clock.
Oh, right. In the hallway. When he confidently tells everyone his hearing is evolving.
Yeah. He loudly announces to the rec room, "I actually think my hearing is evolving like Daredevil." And Tiffany just calmly says, "You walked face first into a grandfather clock 30 seconds ago." It's a great joke. But can we just pause the analysis and be serious for 1 second? Intimately serious between you and me.
Always. I am always serious with you. What is it?
Grandfather clocks are terrifying. They are fundamentally horrifying objects.
They are? Are they?
Yes, absolutely. Yes, think about it logically. Put yourself in Derek's shoes. You are in the dark. You can't see anything. The world is a void. And there's just this tall wooden man standing silently in the hallway, just tick, 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 tick. Why are they so tall? Why do they have a face? It's fucked up.
I mean, I never really...
A clock shouldn't be the size of a grown adult. It's like a vertical coffin that tells time. If I was suddenly blind and I was walking down a damp beige hallway and I walked out to a ticking coffin in the dark, I would completely lose my mind. I would have a heart attack.
That is, wow. You know what? You are so incredibly perceptive. I mean that. I have a PhD in media studies, and I never, not once, thought about the anthropomorphic terror of a grandfather clock.
Yeah.
The vertical coffin of time.
That is brilliant.
It's just standing there, in the shadows, judging you for being late. It has a pendulum swinging like a heartbeat. Okay, you're getting worked up. Let's unpack this seriously. We need to reset this deep dive. I am losing the thread. We are professionals. We have a structure. The outline, let's get back to the outline, the architecture of this, the visual language. We need to discuss the visual language of the show.
Right, structure, the visual language. I am a professional.
But really quick, before we do the visual language, your eyes are so pretty when you get passionate about clocks. They kind of sparkle when you're terrified.
Aha, stop it. We're recording. Ryan can hear you.
I don't care. I don't care if Ryan hears me. Ryan is watching us from the booth right now.
Look at him.
Look at his stupid, beautiful, perfectly symmetrical face. I bet he doesn't even know what an autosave file is. I bet his whole life is an autosave file. He just coasts on his jawline.
Nah.
I want to ruin his life. I want to ruin his life and then make him breakfast. Okay. Sorry. Visual language. Back to the script.
The visual language. It's very important. The document emphasizes that there is absolutely no sentimental blindness POV in the camera work. The director refuses to do that cheesy melodramatic thing where the screen goes entirely black and blurry with soft piano music playing. Instead, they use blown-out, aggressive fluorescent lighting. The edges of the frame are filled with blurry, nauseating peripheral smears.
And the oppressive sound design. That is crucial. Overlapping, chaotic dialogue, uncomfortably loud chewing noises, the hum of the vending machines. It is supposed to feel, as we discussed, like a dying mall that has been illegally converted into a medical experiment.
A dying mall. That's so profoundly sad. When you think about the history of the American mall, it was a place of community, and now it's just empty storefronts and echoes. Everything about this setting is just, it's heavy. It presses down on your chest.
Which brings us to the ending, the final closing scene of the pilot. And this is where the comedy strips away entirely and the show just reaches into your chest and rips your heart out.
I know, I can barely even talk about the ending without tearing up. Let me just finish this glass. Okay. It is nighttime. Derek has snuck out. They are in the small concrete courtyard of the facility. You can hear the distant, lonely noise of the interstate highway in the background, cars rushing by, going somewhere, while they are stuck.
And Derek is sitting alone on a cold concrete bench. He is trying to light a single cigarette, but he can barely orient the lighter correctly because he doesn't have the spatial awareness yet. He's just fumbling, burning his own thumb. And there are no jokes in this scene. Connor O'Malley drops the manic energy entirely. No screaming, just absolute terrifying silent confusion.
And then Leon sits beside him. Leon is the 60-year-old, fully blind, former jazz musician we meet briefly earlier. And Leon is the only character who realizes that Derek's real problem isn't the sudden blindness. The blindness is secondary. The real tragedy is that Derek never learned how to exist quietly. He never learned how to be alone with his own thoughts.
Right. Because without the screens, Derek has to finally meet himself. And there's a long, heavy silence, just the highway noise. And Leon turns his head slightly and asks him, "What'd you do before this?"
And Derek just shrugs. The bravado is completely gone. And he says in this small, broken voice, honestly, mostly waiting for something to happen.
Mostly waiting for something to happen. And Leon just slowly nods, exhales, and says, "That's a dangerous hobby."
It's so dangerous. It is so incredibly dangerous to just wait. Because nothing happens. Nobody comes to save you. The software update doesn't come. You just get older and your parents get tired of you. And the people you love, they just get exhausted and they put you in a beige room.
Oh, honey. Hey, don't cry. Come here. Give me your hand. Squeeze my hand.
I apply that quote to my own life, waiting for something to happen. That is my tragic, stagnant love life. I'm just sitting in my own personal concrete courtyard, scrolling through apps, waiting for something magical to happen. And it won't. And I'm just going to end up alone in a damp, dying mall. I'm Derek Vance.
No, you are not. Stop it. You are beautiful. You are so smart. And you know what, Derek isn't just an empty vessel with no internal structure like we said in Section 1. I take it back. I completely repudiate my own academic analysis. That was a stupid surface-level point we made an hour ago. Derek is a beautiful, misunderstood poet. He is a tragic poet of the digital age.
You really think he's a poet, even with the Powerade vodka?
Absolutely I do. The way he cries at the end of the scene, the script specifically notes that it is not dramatic, cinematic sobbing. It is just tiny, suppressed, ashamed little sounds in the dark. That is pure poetry. It is the human condition distilled. And then the director hits us with a smash cut.
The smash cut. Right back to his apartment. Back to the inside of the empty rec room. A paused, colorful Fortnite lobby glowing silently on a massive, expensive television screen that Derek can no longer see. The avatar just doing a stupid idle dance in an empty room.
It is the defining generational image of our time. I'm not exaggerating when I say we are going to win a Pulitzer for this deep dive. I mean it. This is the greatest, most penetrating analysis anyone has ever done on a television pilot. We are peeling back the very layers of the human condition right now. We are philosophers.
We really are. We're doing such important, vital work for the culture here. People need to hear this.
The Pulitzer Committee in New York is going to hear this audio file, and they are going to immediately mail us the medals or the plaques. Do they get plaques for podcasts? I don't care. I don't care what the trophy is. We're winning it. We have transcended the medium.
Okay, we need to wrap up. I need to give the final thought, the provocative thought for the listener at home. Oh, excuse me. The bourbon is fighting back.
You're doing great. You're a star. Deliver the final thought. Change their lives.
So, to you, the listener, you have to ask yourself, look at your own routines. The endless scrolling before bed, the ordering takeout because you're too tired to cook. How much of your current week is just you functioning on an autosave file? What happens to you when the constant distractions of the modern world are forcibly removed, when the glowing screens go completely dark and the digital noise finally stops? What is actually left underneath? Are you a person or are you just waiting?
That was beautiful. That was profound. I love you so much. You are a profound thinker. And to you, the listener, I love you too. You're great. You have a great, sturdy internal structure. Keep it up. Hey, Ryan, look at me through the studio glass. Call me later. Let's get drinks. But also, go to hell. You're a manipulative monster. I want to ruin you. Where do you live, Ryan? Give me your address.
Haha, oh God, we really should sign off before he cuts our mics.
Right. Professionalism. Thank you for joining us for this incredible journey. This has been a very special deep dive off the record.
Oh, oops, oh no, the bourbon.
Leave it. Don't wipe it up. It's an autosave file now. The studio is slightly wet. Good night, everybody.